don't know from the coroner's office yet exactly if they have a cause of death, what it was. We don't know. And I'm going to suspect a dismembered, heavily decomposed body like that, it's going to be tough to tell. There are certain telltale signs depending on what was in there, what they actually recovered. But at this point, we don't know. But
we just got a major update in the David case, and things are taking a wild turn. LAPD has officially released Celeste's body, and reports are now hinting that David might have been buying fake IDs, not just for himself, but for Celeste too. The homeowner of that Beverly Hills mansion where David was staying even confirmed that CCTV cameras were installed all around the property. That means cops might finally catch whoever was behind Celeste's tragic death. This case is about to explode with new revelations. Now here's where things get even more suspicious. TMZ just dropped an exclusive article revealing police found shocking details about Celeste's past. It turns out she had run away from home multiple times, and her teacher even confirmed that officers had already retrieved her from David's place once before, only for her to escape again and go right back. That's heartbreaking and confusing at the same time.
You can still prosecute if you can certainly prosecute. I mean, I did 5 no body cases where we had no exact cause of death either. So you can certainly do it. But it does throw a wrinkle in there. If you've just got a decomposed, torso, or depending on what's available, what I would be asking if I was them is...
According to homicide detectives, there's a lot of evidence pointing to Celeste coming from a deeply troubled home, which could have pushed her to keep running away. But here's the part that really grabs attention. Sources say Celeste managed to move around freely by using multiple fake IDs, all crafted to make her look much older than she actually was. Imagine that, walking around Beverly Hills under a totally different identity. And we all know those IDs don't come cheap. So here's the thing. Celeste came from a rough home, right? Which means she probably didn't have much cash on her. No allowance, no steady income, nothing. And let's be real, fake IDs in the US don't come cheap. You're talking at least $100, maybe even 200. There's no way a young girl could have just come up with that kind of money on her own. She couldn't legally work. She was barely a teenager, around 13 or 14 at the time, still in school, with no way to make that kind of money legitimately. Meanwhile, David was known for flashing cash, always living big. And here's where the evidence hits hard. There are iMessage screenshots showing Celeste asking him for $10,000 and David actually sending her $9,000. That's insane. So either David was buying those fake IDs for her or she used his money to do it herself. Either way, that connection looks real messy, and it makes you wonder, why would she even need multiple fake IDs?
The hyoid bone, that's a bone in the neck that's consistent with strangulation. That's something that doesn't go away with decomposition. I'm sure they're looking at that. If it's true that her head was recovered, they can find what's called petechial hemorrhaging in her eyes, indicating strangulation. Bones will leave marks concerning stabbing. So the forensic pathology here is going to be very interesting. And again, the coroners in LA County are the real deal. They know what they're doing. So we'll have to see.
And let's hope, let's hope that they do all.
Probably to get into clubs and high-end events she couldn't enter otherwise. Maybe she wanted to roll with David into exclusive places pretending to be older. It's giving secret nightlife vibes, and that's seriously disturbing. Now check this out, there's some crazy footage going around online. It shows a fleet of unmarked police cars pulling up to David's Beverly Hills mansion. You can see officers and detectives combing through the property, doing forensic swabs, checking the garage, and going through vehicles. There's even talk that one of those cars belonged to David's manager.
Hitting no-nonsense women and men at the LAPD who know what they're doing. So they're doing all of that stuff. They're going through the computers. They have forensically worked up that house, probably top to bottom. They're looking for her DNA. They're looking on any instruments that may have been used to dismember her. I've already seen some of the conspiracy theories come out, and one of the questions I saw is, who would be stupid enough to put the dead body in the trunk of their own car? And the answer to that is most murderers. Most people, especially when they kill for the first time, make a million mistakes.
So from what we can see, the footage doesn't reveal everything. But we do know forensic teams are testing for blood, DNA, and any trace of evidence that could finally show what really happened to Celeste. You can spot investigators carefully shaking those test vials, just like those science experiments from school. But this time, it's deadly serious. They're all wearing blue gloves, moving with precision, like real-life crime lab experts on a mission. Every little shake, every test could be the clue that cracks this whole case wide open. Now here's where things start to sound chilling. It's believed that Celeste may have been killed inside the home David was living in because investigators secured a full search warrant to look for blood evidence within the property. That means they had probable cause to suspect something awful went down there. But the big question remains, what did they actually find? So,
first-time murderers.
I think that what's happening in addition to the forensic stuff right now is they are doing gumshoe police work and they are interviewing every single person they can find that was in his orbit, that knew about their relationship, what the circumstances were, if any. And it certainly sounds, I mean, there's a lot of circumstantial evidence right now indicating that there had been some sort of close relationship between them.
I have 20
so
seconds.
far, police haven't revealed if they discovered any major evidence, and no official suspect has been named. That silence, it's unsettling. Right now, things are looking like David might just walk free, because without a confirmed cause of death or solid forensic proof, the case is stuck in limbo. But here's a twist worth noting. The homeowner, a man named Malden Trivy, confirmed that the mansion was covered in external security cameras. He even mentioned that no one could enter or exit the property unnoticed. These CCTV cameras, one facing the front door, others pointing at the garage, could end up being the most crucial evidence in this entire investigation. So the homeowner gave some major insight into the mansion's setup. He explained that the security cameras were positioned at every entry point, including the backyard and the street view, making it nearly impossible for anyone to come or go without being recorded. That means if Celeste really was killed inside that house, then whoever was involved had to pass right through one of those angles. There's no way around it. If David was the one who moved her, the logical route would have been through the garage, where he could load her into a car discreetly. But even then,
popular artist got caught giving thousands of dollars to kids. Now, why did he do this? To hide his little secret of him dating a minor. Yup. Who knows if he's still dating this minor, though. And people coming, proof.
and the garage cameras or the street-facing CCTV would have caught something. Maybe a car pulling out, headlights flashing, or even just David driving off in the middle of the night. If that footage exists, it's a game changer. Now, the landlord also revealed something interesting. He said he doesn't personally have access to the camera system. When new tenants move in, he gives them the login info for the security company and they create their own account. He says he does that so tenants don't think he's spying on them, which honestly makes sense. But it also means only David's account might have had direct access to that footage. Even more suspicious, the landlord claims LAPD hasn't updated him about whether they've retrieved the footage or not. But let's be honest, there's no chance the cops don't have it by now. They've definitely subpoenaed the security company to access every second of that video feed. And if detectives did get that footage, it could expose everything. Imagine seeing David leaving the house at 4 a.m., carrying a dark bag, or his car driving down the street before Celeste's body was found. Now here's where things get seriously tense. A lot of people online are stressing about the fact that there's still no official cause of death, and they're worried this could help David walk free. But hold up, some legal experts are saying that even without a confirmed cause of death, charges and arrests can still happen if there's enough circumstantial evidence tying someone to the crime. And one guy online, clearly someone who knows what he's talking about, just broke it all down perfectly. He suggested an alternate theory that's been circulating. What if Celeste overdosed accidentally or even took her own life, and David panicked?
Why the fuck else would he randomly go unnoticed, no one knows about this, to meet kids, bring them canes, give them thousands of dollars? Why else would he do that? Why else would any celebrity do that? You know exactly why. And I'm not just guessing here. This is a picture from someone who knew the girl, and they told me this story.
Maybe he didn't want anyone finding a body in his mansion, so he hid her in his car trunk out of fear. It's disturbing to even imagine, but it lines up with what many people think might have happened that night. Now, about the rumors that Celeste was dismembered, turns out that's not actually true. Reports now suggest that the body appeared dismembered only because it had badly decomposed, not because anyone cut it apart. That's horrifying, but it completely changes the story. Still, many online are saying, why would David use his own trunk if he did it? That makes no sense. But the expert explained that most first-time offenders make huge mistakes, especially in moments of panic. They act on fear, not logic. He said it's shockingly common for someone to stash a body in their own vehicle simply because they don't know what else to do. And that's the part that makes this theory so chilling. Even though David's a celebrity, he's still human. And humans make terrible, impulsive choices when they're desperate. If that's what happened here, it could mean this whole thing wasn't premeditated at all. Just a tragic, panicked cover-up that spiraled out of control. So here's another wild detail that's got everyone talking. Some people were saying that if Celeste was strangled, there might not be visible marks left on her skin, but according to experts, that's not exactly true. You can actually spot signs of it through damage to the neck bones or inner tissue, and that's something coroners can easily identify during an autopsy. Now, this one forensic expert pointed out that Los Angeles coroners are top-tier professionals. We're talking about one of the biggest, most funded cities in the country. These people handle hundreds of high-profile cases, so it's hard to believe they'd miss something so crucial. Still, the fact that there's no confirmed cause of death yet is seriously confusing. Another professional even mentioned he's worked on 5 other cases where the cause of death couldn't be determined, but prosecutors still move forward with charges based on strong surrounding evidence. That means that even if they can't pinpoint exactly how Celeste died, the DA might still go after David, especially with everything else that's come out online. They've got social media messages, money transfers, digital communication, and the most damning piece, Celeste being found inside David's own car. That's more than enough to keep him in the spotlight of this investigation. Meanwhile, investigators completely swept through David's mansion, looking for DNA traces, blood, or any possible weapon that could match her injuries. Every inch of that house has been checked. And now, the heartbreaking update, Celeste's body has been released back to her family. That usually means the autopsy and forensic work are finished. So it looks like investigators have already sent off all the liquid and toxicology samples for deeper testing. Those kinds of tests can take a month or 2 to process, so we probably won't get those results until later. But in the meantime, Celeste's body has finally been released to her family. Her loved ones can now officially claim her remains, bringing at least a small bit of closure after weeks of horror and confusion. But get this, David just made his Fortnite profile private. Before, people could see when he was online and what he was playing, but now, total blackout. That move came right after fans on Reddit and Twitter noticed his gaming activity and started tracking his playtimes. It's like he realized people were watching and decided to go completely dark online. That timing feels way too suspicious. Now here's something even more eerie. Photos from David's concert at Silver Springs on August 25th have surfaced, and fans swear Celeste was there. In one shot, you can see a girl standing on a balcony next to David's brother, and she looks strikingly similar to Celeste. She's wearing a black tube top, which is exactly what she was reportedly wearing when her body was found. That detail alone has the internet losing its mind. Some fans even used AI enhancement tools to zoom in on her face, and the resemblance is undeniable. It really does look like her. There's also footage of David waving toward her, throwing up a heart symbol with his hands, which makes it seem like he knew exactly who she was and where she was standing. If this was truly Celeste at that August concert, then it pushes her last confirmed sighting way later than many thought, possibly late August instead of early summer. That would completely shift the timeline and could mean she was alive just weeks before she disappeared. This whole situation is honestly beyond confusing. It's hard to even piece together what really happened anymore. There's so much conflicting evidence and speculation that it feels like every new detail just makes things messier. Another comparison photo has been circulating online, showing the girl from that concert next to Celeste, and even though the image quality is terrible, especially once YouTube compresses it, you can still see the resemblance. Same curly hair, same skin tone, same black tube top, the exact kind of outfit she was found wearing. The similarities are hard to ignore, but what's truly disturbing is what came next. During one of David's concerts on September 18th, 2024, more than a year ago, he allegedly displayed AI-generated images of himself and Celeste. Only in these pictures, they appeared older, as if they had grown up and grown old together. That's straight up unsettling. The girl in the images looks just like Celeste. Darker skin, curly hair, same face structure. And the implication behind those visuals is downright disturbing, considering she was only 14 years old at the time. That's not just weird, it's twisted. Fans online immediately called it out as creepy and inappropriate, with many demanding to know why no one questioned it back then. How could something like that be shown publicly and brushed off as art? Then, in December 2024, things took an even darker turn when a TikTok user came forward, claiming he had evidence that David was secretly meeting up with minors and paying them to stay quiet about his interactions. The clip resurfaced recently, and it's chilling to watch now, knowing everything that's happened since. At the time, nobody believed the guy. His video barely got attention, and people wrote him off as making things up for clout. But here's the wild part, that TikTok was posted 9 months before Celeste's body was found and 4 months before David performed at Coachella. So this wasn't some after-the-fact theory. People knew something was off way earlier, and still, nothing was done. Or maybe the real problem wasn't just silence from the public, it might have been the police turning a blind eye too. Some people online are even suggesting that Celeste's family didn't step in because they were benefiting from the situation. In earlier reports, there were claims that her family may have encouraged her relationship with David, seeing him as a rich celebrity who could help pull them out of poverty. If that's true, it adds a heartbreaking layer to this whole story, one where money and fame may have outweighed basic protection. Now, here's something brand new that just dropped. Some exclusive info from the Leonard Files, a group running its own independent investigation into the case. They reportedly obtained official parking records for the Tesla, and what they found could completely redefine the timeline of Celeste's death. According to their report, a city worker spotted and marked the Tesla for a 72-hour parking observation on August 27th after it was seen parked in the same spot for days. This was before it was ever towed or impounded. That detail is huge because it means the car was already abandoned by late August, just days after David's Mary Lion show on August 24th, where Celeste was allegedly spotted on the balcony beside David's brother. So, if the Tesla was first noted on the 27th, the 72-hour observation would have expired around September 3rd, which matches the impound records that surfaced later. That creates a chilling timeline. Celeste may have been alive and seen on August 24th and then killed between the 25th and 27th, just before the car was tagged. After that, the Tesla sat there until it started to emit a strong odor, leading authorities to tow it, likely around September 3rd or 4th. That's when police made the horrific discovery. It's terrifying how perfectly those dates line up. The concert, the abandoned car, the impound, all within one haunting week. So, get this. Celeste's body was officially discovered on September 8th, which means it had been decomposing for about 10 days. And when you think about the LA heat, that makes total sense. The high temperatures there speed up decomposition drastically. By day 10 or 11, the smell would have been overwhelming. It's disturbing, but it actually lines up perfectly with the timeline investigators have pieced together so far. Now, one of the most interesting voices covering this case is a Twitter researcher known as CCTV. This guy has done a deep dive into every single angle of the story, and some of his theories are starting to sound chillingly plausible. In one of his detailed posts, he suggests a new possibility. What if Celeste didn't die from homicide at all? He believes it's possible she overdosed accidentally, and when that happened, David panicked. Instead of calling for help, he allegedly hid her body to avoid the public finding out that a minor had died in his home. If that's true, the legal situation changes completely. It wouldn't be charged as murder, but as abuse of a corpse or concealment of an accidental death. And honestly, that theory makes sense to some people, because if she really did overdose, calling paramedics would have meant instant disaster for David. Imagine the headline, "Underage girl found dead in pop star's mansion." His career would have been destroyed in seconds, no matter the circumstances. That fear might have been enough to make him do something desperate. According to CCTV, the manner of death, whether natural, accidental, suicide, or homicide, can still change any time before the toxicology results come in, which usually takes 60 to 100 days. And that's assuming the coroner was able to collect a viable sample given the level of decomposition. One thing's for sure, a crime definitely happened here. There's no way around that. Celeste didn't just climb into that Tesla by herself, but that still doesn't automatically make it a homicide. If this turns out to be an accidental overdose, that means David was allegedly supplying drugs to a minor, and that alone could completely destroy his career. Either way, it's a serious crime. Whether it's homicide, concealment, or negligence, someone is responsible for what happened to her. Now, the frustrating part is how long it's taking to get any solid answers. As that investigator pointed out, toxicology reports can take anywhere from 60 to 120 days, depending on the backlog. That means we might not get another real update on this case for 3 to 4 months. It's wild, but when I looked into it, it actually makes sense. The labs in LA are swamped with cases, and every death, no matter how minor, goes through a long series of chemical and biological tests to check for every possible substance. It's not quick science. It's tedious, slow, and heavily backed up. So right now, we're basically stuck in a waiting game. The investigations hit a wall. No new leads, no public updates, and nothing from LAPD except silence. The only real progress so far was that David's house got raided, which is the biggest step forward we've seen. Everything else, like him locking his Fortnite account or moving homes, feels like background noise, while the real work happens behind closed doors. And honestly, it's clear LAPD are keeping everything tightly under wraps until they have undeniable proof. That's why most of the recent details are coming out through TMZ exclusives and independent sources digging for scraps of information. So yeah, that's where we're at for now. No closure, no arrests, just a long, frustrating wait for those final toxicology results. Hopefully, once they come in, we'll finally get some real answers and justice for Celeste. Until then, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video so we can keep more eyes on the case and keep the pressure alive. I'll see you all in the next one.